Hi everyone, it's Bella, and today I'd like to talk to you about the Gemini full moon at 27 degrees of Gemini on the 19th of December 2021. Now, full moons are about endings and culminations, finishing things up, fruitions of sorts in the area of Gemini, in this case, in your chart. Now, during this full moon activation period, you could be feeling a bit more emotional when communicating with others. You have a greater need to be in tune with God's energy at this time. You might be more interested in deeper conversations than the usual Gemini moon energy. When the moon is in Gemini, we can lack balance between the emotional and mental connections. But at this time, we should guard against acting too automatically towards our loved ones and neighbors. Why is it that we tend to neglect those closest to us? Because we think they'll just understand. You know, we'll buy a nicer gift to a stranger than to our own family member to make an impression when the people that are closest to us are really the ones more deserving. Not in all cases, but in a lot, I think. Your personal and public, emotional and mental, work and home, relations with the opposite sex, and relatives can seem a bit more at odds with a need for integration. With the moon opposing the sun, you could feel like you're pulled between two different directions, your views and other people's views. It is important to stay open and explore and learn as much from others now as possible, as this is a time where we have to realize we do not know everything and we cannot push our views onto others, but must accept that we all open up at our own pace and according to our own past lessons, journeys, our life maturity, and perception. Just accept them as they are and remove the need to feel like it's your responsibility to open other people's eyes. Remain conscious of your inner self, listen intuitively and openly, but stay true to you. The sun and moon form a T-square to Neptune. Therefore, listen to your body if you feel like you need more rest during this time or alone time to recharge, as being around others can be draining at times, especially as we are much more physically in tune and more sensitive to others' energies at this time. So retreat often to center before engaging again. Watch against being deceived during this time. Feelings of inadequacy can pop up, or maybe a bit of discouragement due to certain circumstances, or the possibility that your ideals might not be, or might be a bit unrealistic at this time. If therefore you find it affecting your interactions, take the breaks you need. But remember, the moon here in Gemini is fantastic for brainstorming and networking. But if your energy is low, do the research. It will assist in lifting the feeling of discouragement when you know what your options are and the possibilities of what you're dealing with. Avoid escaping with drugs or alcohol. Mars is squaring Jupiter, so be careful of overdoing things or being overly optimistic in some areas. Watch impulsivity, as you may be more accident prone during this time, especially if you're trying to dominate the world around you for your own ego. Instead, focus rather on the acquisition of including the universe in your experiences by learning through every single connection and event that occurs now, expanding your consciousness. The sun sextiles Jupiter, while the moon trines it, and even though we might feel a bit at odds, This is an electric time to focus on our future goals, and we now have the right energy to look at all the disparate parts of our lives and somehow put it together to see the bigger picture. We are aware of our part in the larger game of life and the world around us, not just physically, but also psychically. Whatever you are planning now has the potential to reach the vision you have for it. Being with friends and relatives and putting heads together with a group can be very beneficial at this time, especially when we are dealing with issues where the law could be playing a role in our activities or plans going forward. Mars conjuncts the South Node, and it is important to channel your energy in a more controlled way during this time. Violence and aggression can easily take control here and cause disagreements and difficult situations. You could be predisposed to creating opposition regarding beliefs, values, and morals, and ideals, which can cause a feeling of alienation. Watch for overindulgence and overreacting. Remain grounded and realize you are not alone and not everybody is out to get you. You cannot control others or change their mind or understanding. You can only take charge of yourself. Free yourself by reminding yourself of this. But through these experiences, we have a chance to gain something lost. A return to the past in some way. This is great energy to fix mistakes, to refine skills, and to improve. Taking care of your health in a holistic body, mind, and soul way is also very important at this time. We are becoming more aware of impermanence and drawing closer to the divine and to God. Saturn squares Uranus retrograde, restriction versus freedom, the past versus the future, the old versus the new, breaking free and breaking away from that or those that oppress and that which has become too rigid and is now smothering. The tension of this third perfecting aspect with Uranus now retrograde and Saturn being direct. You may feel as though you are ready to take radical action in an area of your life that has been trying to free itself for a very long time now and has now reached boiling point. It is important to let go of the fear of change and the fear of loss or standing rejected in order to make healthy decisions. Venus has also stationed retrograde conjunct Pluto in Capricorn and will be spending a few months here. Generally, the energy for business or professional life is favorable regardless at this time. Old loves or partners can return, old money issues, conversations. If you are to fall in love during this time, it could be with someone much different than you normally go for, or it could be someone wiser, more mature, or even someone you would consider above you, or a person such as an employer. Regardless, this would be a relationship where you would learn, or vice versa, regarding getting ahead in life or moving forward from here. For others, love can be met with someone that is not available, or someone that leaves and it becomes a faraway kind of love, somehow separated. Most love connections now, old or new, will reach a level of intensity, passion, possessiveness, jealousy, manipulation, and control issues can be serious due to not wanting to accept things the way they are, or because of feelings of insecurity. In some cases, the pull to escape reality in a love affair. Stay realistic and do not be seduced by a fantasy that can never become a reality and will leave you with deep disappointment. If your partner meets you with the same level of intensity, This could be an extremely rewarding time of deep emotional depths reached with each other. Venus retrogrades from 19 December until 29 January 2022. And during this time, it is not favorable to buy expensive items, get married, make a major style change, or have plastic surgery, or start a business. This is because we may not be seeing everything clearly that is connected to money, love, values, sugar, and beauty. Therefore, after Venus comes out of retrograde and eventually out of shadow in March, you might ask, what was I thinking? It is, however, good for evaluating relationships, checking the balance and fairness, going for couples therapy, or renewing of vows. Sometimes you can get great deals and bargains. If you will be okay, if you did regret it, and you can play a little. This duo of planets also trine the North Node of Destiny at a critical 0 degrees of Gemini. And this will be excellent for bringing blessings to your purpose. This aspect could bring some beautiful translation of the future and will aid the opposing forces into pleasing interactions. We might be inclined to throw ourselves into art, music, beauty, and poetry of all transformative kinds successfully. Mercenary motives and deceptive charm can be something to watch out for. Remember your boundaries and practice non-attachment. Attractions are strong and more opportunities to attract partners are available now. But there is also the possibility for more sinister connections, so be on guard. No matter what though, we have the inner strength and determination to handle whatever comes our way now in order to achieve our purpose. If you'd like to hear more about how the Venus retrograde in Capricorn will affect you and your rising sign, you can also check out the general astrology potentials of 2022 that will be out later for each rising sign, where I cover this aspect as well. Collectively, we can expect unexpected news or information, power moves by those in authority in areas such as finances, control, and mass manipulation speeches and mercenary tactics again, or still are possible. Violence, riots, explosive events, air travel, or operating heavy machinery should be done with caution and avoided if possible for the next month or so, unless you have maybe a reading to check out your personal chart in connection with this. We may see health issues escalate and many disagreements and divisions. Physically, the hands, arms, joints, respiratory system, lungs, nervous system, and blood capillaries can be more sensitive during this time. Surgical operations are strongly not recommended during a full moon unless it cannot be avoided. This is not medical advice, therefore please consult your physician. Mercury, the ruler of this moon, is trining Uranus and can also allow us to combine our strong intuition now with a clearer mental scope, and you may find that you are now seeing solutions or receiving downloads of ideas and a new perception of how to solve a problem. In relationships, connections, and conversations, you will seek out stimulation, and for some, traveling to a different place might be a good break to ground the electric energy coursing through our veins at this time. Many insights and interesting people might cross your path, and whether you agree with their views or not, you will be searching for the truth. So stay open and tolerant and grounded in your faith and humanity, that which connects us all, love. Now, when Jupiter squares the nodes, we are at a karmic crossroads, and we could be tempted by desire, grandeur, and materialism, or spiritual growth through the loss or minimizing of such attachments. We are prompted to engage our faith now. Our thoughts, our interactions, our plans, and futures are to be more meaningful. We yearn for truth, exploring and investigating in the pursuit of wisdom, going and searching beyond ourselves, living our lives with meaning and fulfillment. Change is a must now. Staying flexible and accepting that God's will for your life and His divine timing and order of things will allow your life to unfold as it should, and clear out that which is no longer working. I'd like to read to you the inside degrees for 27 degrees of Gemini. Much food stored in a cool cave. Taking your greatest attributes, tucking them away for safekeeping, and going on without them. Daring yourself to operate without the huge advantage of knowing everything ahead of time, and dropping down into the position of moving by primal instincts, each moment naked and following the live track of what arises. Turning yourself into a wide open, vastly impressionable, fluent and flexible frontline participant, but keeping on ice the most astounding array of greater gifts, the ones that are too much for this world now, and being quite inwardly assured that sooner or later you can and will draw upon and tap into the greater frequencies of awareness in order to take the path even further along that spontaneous presence could begin to imagine. May the sun shine bright on you this day, and may there be blessings coming your way at this last full moon of 2021 of the calendar year until 2022. Stay safe and stay blessed. You can also check out the 2022 General Astrology Potentials video that will be posted as well as the Rising Sign Potentials for 2022 for all 12 signs will also be available for purchase on audio files, on the Pondering Moon, on the Etsy shop. That is great for stocking stuffer gifts. If you buy all 12, you can send the links to family members, especially if you live far away from them. Otherwise, they will also be available later on the tube. May you have a safe season. Until next year, take care.